All right, man. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you sitting here doing this interview with me, man. I think street interviews are very important. I just was, we were just talking, and I feel like it gives people a perspective on what it's like out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I truly think, how people are treating the people who are, residentially challenged. I think it's awful. I think, the no camping rule, not being allowed to be at parks. This is ridiculous to say the least. So we're gonna start from the beginning, man. What is your name, age, and current living situation?
My name is Dylan. I'm 34, and I am homeless on the streets of Phoenix.
Yeah, man, that's awful. I gotta ask you though. When we were talking, you said something about Pennsylvania. Are you from Arizona?
Originally, no, I'm from Pennsylvania. It's kind of a long story. I've been an addict since I was 16 years old. It started with heroin and crack, and then it went to meth and fentanyl when I moved out here.
Yeah.
But originally I moved out here to go to a halfway house and try to get sober. And it happened after a really, really bad overdose in Columbus, Ohio.
Man, that's awful, man. I always tell people, once that snowball effect gets going, it gets going. You know what I mean? And the last thing people should do is be callous or judgmental. I always, in my mind, I feel like you can end up homeless, in the blink of an eye. You never know. So don't. I always tell people not to be so quick to judge or judgmental. You never know what someone's been through or they're going through. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can you tell me a little about your journey? What was life like prior to you being out here on the streets?
Life was pretty good. Before I became homeless when I was 18, 19 years old. I ended up moving from my parents to my grandparents' house, and then was only there for about 2 years. So when I was 20 years old, I became homeless, and that was off and on, periodically, because I ended up going to college in Lima, Ohio.
Man, that's awesome.
And then my financial aid got cut, and I ended up on the streets of Lima, Ohio for 2 years.
Yeah.
I walked from Lima, Ohio to Columbus, and didn't know what I was going to do. Met some people there on the streets. Ended up linking up with a dope dealer and started using. But I had been using in Lima as well, and pretty much all through college, all through high school. But yeah, the journey has been tough. Been very, very long, very, very tough. I just want to do something good for people. I've done so much bad. I've done, things that I've, now come to peace with. This last time I went to prison, I ended up giving my life to the Lord, and I started praying and doing trying to do the right thing,
That's amazing, bro.
Catching myself when I go to yell at somebody or flip out on somebody for something that, really I should be just, trying to encourage that person or love them and uplift them instead of getting mad and tearing them down.
Man, I agree with you. That's amazing, man. It takes a real big person to say something like that, to essentially just admit all the wrongs that they've done and realize that they, had not such a bright past when they were young, and now you're trying to change that. So, yeah, that lets me know about your character. To me, character's a big thing.
Absolutely.
A big part of people's lives and people evolving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does a typical day on the streets look like for you, man? Is it always the same, or is it different all the time? What's it like out here?
Lately, it's been the same. Find a spot to sleep at night, and then wake up in the morning, and I come down here and use the they let us use the bathroom here at McDonald's or down at QT or at Fry's, and try to clean up the best you can, or you know, if you can get some clothes off somebody or whatever to change your clothes out, you know. And then I have some stuff that I do, you know, to try to earn some money, you know. I'm not real one to like beg for it, but I do fly a sign from time to time. And like
times are hard, man.
Yeah, you know, or offer to clean up the parking lots of these places for a meal.
That's awesome.
You know, do something for one of the homies when they're up, you know, or you know, just little stuff here and there. And of course, you know, with being an addict and doing dope, there comes you know, that flip and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
trying
sir.
to come up doing stuff like that. So there's a variety of different hustles that I get involved in, and so I've been to prison twice, so I'm not really trying to go up in these stores and steal from them.
Man.
I'm not really trying to go
I heard
hit
that.
some licks or hurt people. I'm not really trying to steal no cars or none of that. You know, I'm not trying to do none of that.
Trying to get it the easiest, fastest way, right?
Yeah, that would be ideal, you know. But I just don't, you know, want to do that and stuff anymore. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be treated like that, you know.
Yeah.
My mom used to say, "You don't do to others as you don't want done to yourself," and like
Yes, sir.
I did to others bad for many years. So like I'm trying to like clean up. Man,
Yeah, I know what
you
that feels like, man. You know.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know.
Wise words, man. I like that. What's been the hardest part of being out here for you, man? What's the hardest part, you know?
The hardest part now is like now. Before it was trying to get money, and like that wasn't really real hard, but like the things that I had to do to get it, like that was hard for me, because I never, deep inside, like I knew what I was doing was wrong, and like I didn't want to do that, you know. But like I was so physically addicted to the drugs that and me being I kind of take things overboard, you know. I've overdosed a total of 31 times, and
that's
like
awful, man.
I take it to the next level. So like I'm doing a whole bunch of different stuff every single day. Then, you know, now it's harder. Like it doesn't bother me as much anymore, because I don't do stuff like that anymore. You know, I don't go, you know, doing home invasions or you know, robbing people or stores or none of that.
You're growing up, man.
I try to
You know what
just,
I'm saying?
you know, do these other little hustles that earn money the right way. But yeah.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense, you know. That's what it's like out here. You know, it's a doggy dog world. You gotta do what you have to do to survive. Especially when your back's against the wall, feet are in the sand, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it, man. That leads to the next question. Is there a particular experience you've had while homeless that stands out, man? I know you probably had a lot of experiences, but could you elaborate on one or so that stands out, man?
Yeah, there's a couple, man. Like you know, doing meth, there's a thing that goes along with doing that, you know, sleep deprivation, you know, the whole not eating, and it really messes with you mentally, right? So, you know, being up for days at a time, all this and that. Well, I had seen some things that was not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I had seen some things on that drug that was not cool, and not all of it was, how do you say, part of the psychosis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of that was real, and I guess the most traumatic would be like one of the homies getting hit by a car and drugged 80 feet.
Man,
you know,
yeah, that's
and
awful.
dying right in front of us. You know.
I'm sorry, man.
Well, another homie getting shot in the back of the head for 30 pills and thrown out the passenger side door. You know, stuff like that. You know, some of the girls that were on the scene, you know, on the block, not this block in particular, but another one. got kidnapped and never seen again, and they were good friends of ours.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's a tragedy.
But those are some of them that stand out. I don't think that they all really were like
horrible, huh?
Yeah, like I wouldn't wish any of this on my worst enemy, bro.
100%, man. I agree with you. I understand, it'd be hard to, pick one or so that was the worst, I just I had to ask. What is the most common reason you see for people ending up homeless? Would you say mental health, drugs, just circumstantial?
But a little bit of everything, really. But
Yes, sir.
I think mainly like for a drug addict, especially an opiate drug addict,
Oh yeah.
that becomes, you can't do anything. You got to get well first. You got to smoke first, right? And then once you do smoke, like it's like you got to constantly smoke, or whatever you do, shoot.
Gotta keep tapering
Constantly,
on. Yeah.
right? So that you can go throughout your day, right? So like, yeah, it becomes a never-ending cycle. Like get money, shoot, get high. Get money, shoot, get high. And there's no end to that. Like at the end is ending up in prison. Ending up crazy in the nut house, or dying. I know a lot of my good homies have died, out here doing this.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, man. I always carry Narcan, man, every day, and I've had to use it a lot. I mean, it's awful the amount of people that
2 weeks ago,
yeah.
2 weeks ago, there was 4 people that
OD'd.
at different bus stops. I gave CPR to 2 of those people, and we got them back. Narcan them, got them back.
Yeah, that's amazing,
And,
man.
yeah,
It takes a hell
we
of a
keep an
person.
eye out.
Yeah, that's awesome that you do that, man. I mean, it's awful nowadays. You don't know what goes on or what people put in that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a while there, I was handing out test kits, Narcan, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather someone test it and know that they're getting something legit rather than, something else and then fall out and die. So,
Yeah.
if you could speak to your younger self, what would you say, man?
I'd probably tell them to shut up, sit down, and listen. For one.
Ooh, wise words.
For 2, I'd tell them to, open the Bible and start praying way, way, way before I did, and then I'd tell him to not leave his family, but to just stick it out, and instead of being homeless on the street, doing drugs, putting the drugs down and doing something else, getting a career,
Doing something productive.
working for a company and going up that ladder,
Yes, sir.
opening his own business, something like along those lines.
Man, that's amazing. Well said. Is there a person or organization that has had or made a significant and or positive impact on your life since you've been out here?
Oh,
like
yeah.
a church or someone?
St. Paul's is a good one.
Man, that's awesome, bro.
The Worker, the AZ Arizona Worker. I've been to a couple of rehabs, the Purpose Healing Center, New Freedom.
New Freedom, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I went
awesome.
through
I heard
New
of
Freedom
that
when
one.
I got out of prison this last time. And then all the sober living houses, like there's a bunch everywhere,
yes,
all
sir.
over. There's a bunch of other ones too. There's a lady that comes around and hands out shoes and
I heard of her,
food
yeah.
and clothes, and she's really cool.
Shout her out.
Yeah,
Yes.
her.
I haven't had a chance to meet her.
I think her something with her son happened.
Her
or
son
something.
died.
Yeah,
Overdosed.
and she started that company, and now it's like real big.
Yeah, that's
they
awesome,
help.
man. Yeah, that's
It
awesome.
really helps. And then there's your certain few that come through, man, that are just normal everyday citizens that still have they're not of this world. They got clean, good hearts that truly care, and they come and they help out with give you some food, give you a little bit of money, you know,
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever,
cool,
you
man.
know.
I feel like anybody who goes out of their way to help somebody who society has deemed less than or
Yeah.
less fortunate, I think is an amazing person. You know, it takes a real, you know, good individual to do that. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is a skill or talent you have that people might not expect, man?
I don't know, man. Like when I want something, I am real good at coming up with ways to get it. You know, especially when it comes to, you know, food, drugs, clothes. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
Like
yeah.
getting washed up. You know, whatever. I'm gonna find a way to get it done.
Get it done.
And I used to tell myself like, I don't care what I have to do. If that means, you know, doing the wrong thing, then we're gonna go do that wrong thing. But now it's even harder for me because I'm trying not to do
Trying
that
to
wrong
negate
thing.
doing that. Yeah, for
and
sure.
now doing it the right way, it's 3 times as hard to get that. But I still find a way to get it done.
Man,
Like I got some other strengths too. Like when I went to college to be a mechanic, high performance diagnostic technician. So I would have worked for a race team as a tuner, you know, and
man, that's dope.
like
bro.
I was really good at mechanics, working on cars, to, you know, doing anything from brakes to engine work, transmissions to exhaust. You know, and I've done houses and stuff from the ground up and stuff like that because I've had periods of clean time with jobs and stuff,
man.
you know.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I seen the little Mopar on your arm. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I knew right away, you know, mechanic. That's awesome, bro. What are your hopes for the future?
To be able to go and get my replacement ID.
Bro.
They make it kind of hard, you know. They charge you some money. They want you to, you know, have your Social Security card and your birth certificate, which I have both of those. I don't have the birth certificate, but I have a copy of it from the DES office. So to be able to just be well enough to go down there and get that and get it done, and then you know, start going to maybe working day labor or just one of these shift apps to just get some money going so that I can make it to that next level, to get an apartment and, you know, get back to. I don't want to live the second half of my life out here, bro.
Man.
Like, I don't want to be on these streets anymore. I've been away from the people that I love for so long that it's like, man. And then, you know, you end up, you know, with friendships and people out here that you end up loving that aren't even your blood, right? And then half the time they end up doing something to you or screwing that relationship up in some sort of way, you know.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of this as well.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's okay.
But like, it hurts, man. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I've run across a bunch of different people that like I really did love them and want them to be a part of my life, and they end up leaving,
screwing you over or something. That's awful, man. What advice would you give someone going through a hard time, man?
Pick your head up. Know that God loves you. Know that there are people out in this world that will, you know, that love you and care about you, and that, and then just, you know, stay strong. Tell yourself every day, I am strong. I am a child of God. I will do the right thing. I will get this done, and then pray about it. Ask Jesus to come into your heart, mind, and soul, and get it done. You know, and
wise words. Last but not least, I told you. Do you have a Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or anything like that, man? Just in case whoever might see this, bro, you never know. They might want to help you out.
Cash App, it's
go ahead and shout it out.
Capital D, Lusher 100, and there's the you know, the little money sign in front of that.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I don't have
Okay.
a pill or anything else.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. You've been
Yeah.
a gentleman and a scholar, man. I think that this was very informational, man. And I always ask people, if I see you again, man, I don't just want to catch you while you're down. If I catch you while you're up, you know what I mean? I would love to get an update, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even before that, you know, if I see you, man,
Absolutely.
I would love to get an update, you know?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.